couple yn cerdded mewn y bar, a mae'r barman yn dweud, why the long face? As open as go, it's not a classic, but it is bilingual, and that's my USP. That's what distinguishes me from all of the other comedians. I'm shit in 2 languages. I noticed a mixed response from you when I started in Welsh then. I know some of you were thinking, shit, he's doing it in Welsh. I can't speak Welsh. I won't know when to laugh. I won't know if I should laugh. Some of you were thinking, oh yes, a rare opportunity for some elitist Welsh speaking. And you know you are, boyos. But most of you, I think, were just a little bit confused. And that's what I was going for, confusion. Because I get sick of being the confused one all the time. I feel confused a hell of a lot of the time. I feel like a child in a grown-up's world. And that's no good because I'm grown up and I've got children of my own. And I promised myself I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to share some news with you tonight. I've recently become a father for the 2nd time. Whoa. I don't want you to applaud, it wasn't planned. I'm not even sure he's the second one, to be honest with you. There definitely is another one at home. I've seen him about. But I'm not... between you and me, I've got doubts about the parentage. He doesn't look anything like me. He looks suspiciously unlike me, if you know what I mean. And the first time he said daddy, I know this sounds neurotic, but I swear he meant it as a question. He was about so high, he looked me up and down, and in a tone that can only be described as doubtful, he said, Dad. I said, yes. He said, my daddy. I said, yes. And he started to cry. It was as though he was disappointed with his father. And I was mortified. No father wants to hear their son say that. Which is why I'm not teaching the new one to speak. Because I learn from my mistakes. Obviously not always. If I did, there wouldn't be a new one, would there? But I'm surprised I've got any kids, to be honest with you, because to have children, you need to be in a relationship. And I always thought to be in a relationship, you needed to be romantic. And I'm not even remotely romantic. I read a survey once that said the most romantic song ever written was Close to You by the Carpenters. Anybody know it? Yeah? In that song, Karen Carpenter asks the question, why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? And apparently that's romantic. I'm not so sure. When I first heard it, my initial thoughts were, when I put my bins out, birds suddenly appear. If you throw a chicken carcass into the street, the sky will be full of the buckets. So following that logic, one feasible response to the question, why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near, could be that you're emitting the rancid stench of rotting poultry. It kind of takes the love out of the song. But romantic or otherwise, I did find a partner, I did settle down, and I did have children. And, well, thanks. But now, I don't go out. That's the deal. Read the small print before you sign. I don't get to go out anymore, and I'm really not that bothered, to be honest. The last time that I went out, it's a true story, I got involved in an altercation. There's a guy, I was at a taxi rank, and this young, we call him a pretender, he came rocking into the taxi rank, he booted the door open, he had a pint glass in one hand, he had a bag in the other hand, and he was swearing, he was spitting, he was being generally aggressive. He walked to the front desk, and he said, I'm before these fucking pricks, I want your next cab. Did I see red? It's a rhetorical question, the answer is yes. Now, like a lot of men, when I've had a few drinks, I tend to think of Mike Tyson. So saying that, can I clarify that's just with regard to the boxing and not all that other stuff. Don't lynch me on the way out. But I stood up and I said to him, here, pal, you're starting to get on my fucking tits. Why don't you do one? In retrospect, I realise it's not a very intimidating posture. I actually look more like a wounded Fonzie. But he turned around, and I swear to you, I've never seen such a look of utter madness, insanity on a man's face before. Now, I can't duplicate it entirely because I'm not psychotic, but it was something like this. And he said, "Fucking yes! Come on, you motherfucker!" Now, I won't say that I shit myself because that's a bit vulgar, but I did emit a three-dimensional fart. And then he says, "Sir!" Now, I've seen this before because I trained myself in karate 20 years ago. I trained in Kyokushinkai, which is the hardest karate. It's full contact knockdown karate. And I thought to myself, remember your blocks, remember your kicks, remember your steps, and remember your moves. I recalled the relentless hours of blood, sweat, and tears I spent in that dojo, and I thought to myself, Rob, use your knowledge. And instinctively, my own stance changed from this to this. It was fucking 20 years ago, do you know what I mean? I said, mate. He didn't want to be mates. He beat shit out of me. Justice of the sort did prevail, though, because he was left standing on the curb waiting for his lift home, whilst my driver whisked me away. Admittedly, he was an ambulance driver, but we take what victory we can. So that's why I don't go out anyway. Children and arseholes. And, of course, work. I mean, I don't want to shatter the illusion. I know we're all feeling the magic here tonight, but I've got to confess, I'm not a professional comedian. What's that? No, honestly, I'm not. But, ironically, my real job is a joke. I eke out a living by working for a number of employment agencies. And by virtue of doing this, I've done a lot of care work. I can't say that I'm very good at it. Apparently, I lack the prerequisite sensitivity to the role, and my sense of humour is inappropriate and aggressive. I'll let you be the judge of that. I'll give you an example. I was looking after this very, very elderly lady, very frail little thing, and she said to me, if I was 30 years younger, love, I could run away with you. I thought, I'll have you now. I said, you know Carol Vorderman, aren't you? She said, how do you mean? Well, I said, if you were 30 years younger, you'd still be 63. It's unlikely you'd be running anywhere. You certainly wouldn't be running away with me, because presumably I'd be 30 years younger as well, which would make me 7. So that's kidnapping. I really had some fun with her then. I pretended to go mental. I said, that's kidnapping, so unless you want to spend the rest of your fucking life behind the bars at Holloway as a filling in a muff sandwich between a slice of Hindley and a slice of West, I get that fucking twisted thought out of your filthy mind right now, love. I'm glad that you're laughing, because she didn't see the funny side at all. She actually claps. I thought I tried to gain ground in the situation by introducing a bit of gentler humour. I said to her, look, I'm only joking. What you need to understand, love, is that a woman like you is like a red-hot poker. You've got a lovely warm glow about you, but I'd only ever touch you for a drunken bet. I never found out if she thought that was funny or not. She died. She was recently widowed, and because of that, I like the romantic in me likes to think that she died of a broken heart. The doctor called it a massive coronary, which I think is slightly less romantic, but to be honest with you, as long as he doesn't call it manslaughter, I couldn't give a shit. But, that's going to be it from me, I'm afraid. And I want to leave you with a joke. A horse walks into a bar, and the barman says, "Palmer winner here." I've been Rob Hughes. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for listening. Good night.